Minecraft. No Man's Sky. Space Engineers. Factorio. Something that all these games have in common is coming to Hydroneer. I bet you thought I was going to say multiplayer. Nope, the next thing coming to Hydroneer is a logic system. Alright, okay, so I've been working really hard, and 1.6 is going to have these two major new game systems. It's going to be split up into two parts. We've got the power side and the logic side. Both of these game systems kind of work together but can work separately. And look how many new items I've got. There's so many of them. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit complicated, so let's just go back to the very easy starting place. Power is constant like water. It flows through the pipes like water does, but it also emits this kind of little electric bolt thing, a little bit like how water does. To create power, you need a reactor, and inside the reactor goes all of your shards and shard bars. So this makes things a little bit easier because you don't have to have loads of Davids with loads of shard bars in them. Same with water pressures. Now you can have all of your shards all in one location. This power reactor saps power passively, and whenever a machine is connected to it and used, it'll actually sap power depending on what that machine is. Now, as usual, if you need any more details, you can check out the descriptions on the items down below. Some new things that the power system brings across now is a powered pressure booster, so you don't need to use those water boosters anymore. Again, this is more of a advanced end game kind of stuff, so you can still use the water boosters. You'd probably use them a little bit earlier on and then use this a bit later, since it requires a whole infrastructure to be set up. We also got powered Davids as well, and some nice powered intakes that create 100% pressure as soon as they go through. And something a little bit different as well, we've got an item destroyer. When powered, any item that goes into it, it completely obliterates. You don't even get any scrap metal for this. So it's great for getting rid of extra resources that you don't want or any items. I should mention as well, in this new update, there's going to be a little setting in the settings menu. Just like you could choose to save raw dirt, you can choose to save raw resources. Just because I know a lot of people accidentally create too many resources and then they get stuck with quite a low frame rate. This update as well is coming with some optimizations, so you should feel your game is running a little bit better. Another new item in the powered system is some new lights. The first one we're going to look at is this pilot light. It doesn't draw any energy, so it's completely free to use when it's powered. It's simply really good to tell you if everything's working and you're actually getting power through a pipe. Speaking a little bit technically, this doesn't emit any light in the game, so it is a little bit easier to see. You can have quite a lot of these in the game and it won't really affect frame rates. If we had some dynamic lighting like the next light, if you had quite a few of those, then you may actually experience some technical issues with quite a lot of them in one area. So the next one is really cool, and this one is a great example of how both of the systems tie together. It's a powered light which emits light, and you can choose what color to put into it. So the way the logic system works is it passes numbers through pipes. Now this is unlike the water and power system, where it doesn't continuously pass data through. When you pass something through, it'll send one track of that, and it'll set that value on every single item that is in that path. So if you had some lights at the end of this, for example, you could pass in a 9-digit RGB code and it will change the color of the light. It's actually really cool, and I'm really happy with how this one came out. Which does bring me on to my next point. There's multiple ways that you can enter data through the logic system. Sometimes it's easy as just putting a 1 in when you want something to happen and a 0 when you want something to stop. Or you might want to put in some custom numbers into something, which I'll explain a little bit later on. This is really useful if you wanted to use one of the logic water pipes, as you can see here. Let's say from the other side of my base, I wanted to turn off a water line. Well, now you can do it pretty damn easily with the logic system. This next one we can look at is really cool. It basically counts the number of items that pass through it. It sits on top of a conveyor belt and is really useful if you want to say, I don't know, I only want to have 10 ores come through and be produced into this bar. It's a little bit complex, but follow with me on this one. You basically use the outputting value and you compare that to a previous value you've chosen. So in this case, I'm going to choose 10. And then when that hits 10, it's going to shut off the water valve. There's another thing as well called the durability reader. It outputs the durability of that item that it's looking at, which is really useful because then you can figure out what the durability is. So you compare that to a number, let's say, I don't know, 5%, and then you can use the logic system to throw out spanners from the repair tool to repair an item. Okay, so this last one I've left to the end because I think it is honestly the coolest thing in this update. We've got explosives. Pretty simple. As soon as it's got a logic value passed into it, it'll explode. It's also got a really cool effect that it has on the player if you get too close. Now that is something to be excited about. So these are just a few things coming in the update. There is quite a lot more that I haven't gone over, so be sure to check them out when the update drops. Currently, it's looking like it's probably going to be dropping in January 2021. So there'll be more news on that. If you want to check out my Twitter, where I accidentally get a bit too excited and do kind of give some leaks about the new update, so you maybe go follow me on there. And I'll probably talk about the release date in next month's episode as well on the 5th. Now, last month we had a community competition. I asked you guys to submit your favorite screenshots of Hydroneer on the Discord, and we got quite a lot of entries. Anyway, here's my favorite 3. I'm going to be in contact with you guys when this video goes live to give you your free copies of Hydroneer. Thanks everyone for participating. If you want me to do another competition, please let me know down in the descriptions. Let me know if you're interested, and also let me know if you've got an idea for the competition. Anyway, thanks so much for watching everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this month's episode, and I will see you all next month.